In Path of Exile Delirium League, there will be 280 new notables for you to add to your build. This will be done through a new jewel system that allows you to expand the tree using the 3-socket jewel clusters around the edge of the tree. With all of these new options available, I wanted to go through and show you which ones I'm most excited about due to their game-changing and build-defining nature. Hello Exiles, this is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and welcome to another Path of Exile video. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified of future Path of Exile videos. If you'd like to join my Discord and discuss Path of Exile builds or just generally chat, there's a link in the description. Alright, let's get into it. These are my top 6 most game-changing cluster jewel notables. The first notable I want to talk about is Overwhelming Malice. This notable gives you a 10% chance to gain Unholy Might for 4 seconds on critical strike. I've been playing quite a bit of Assassin recently, and I've tried all sorts of poison builds. Pestilent Strike, Venom Gyre, and Blade Vortex are some of the more fun ones I've played, and this one fits into those builds perfectly. As an assassin, you'll have absolutely no problem keeping this buff up nearly all of the time, and it'll provide you with an insane damage buff. For those who don't know, Unholy Might grants you 30% of your physical damage as extra chaos damage. This means you'll be hitting harder and poisoning for more. Honestly, even if you aren't going poison, this is so much extra damage it would be hard to ignore. Perhaps if Physical Wanderers actually manage to become a thing this league, this will even slot well into that build. The next notable is one that I'm perhaps most excited about, Supercharge. This node makes it so that lightning damage from non-critical strikes is lucky. The thing about lightning damage is it's pretty spiky. The damage range tends to be huge. There's lots of great ways to gain more lightning damage, and they all have a pretty intense damage range. Wrath, Herald of Lightning, and Awakened Added Lightning are easy to slot into a build, and they'll increase your DPS and your damage range even more. For those who don't know, lucky means that the game will roll your damage twice and take the higher number. For instance, if you were to have a damage range of 100 to 1000 normally, your average hit would be around 550. With this, it would actually be around 800. Sure, you would still have times when both rolls are low, but the consistency of damage done would shoot way up, and this synergizes extremely well with Elemental Overload. The next notable is one that synergizes well with a few builds I've done just this last league. Cold to the Core gives you 1% cold damage per 25 of each attribute. It's basically an extra little Cyclopean coil. Even in cases where you're only stacking a single attribute, you're often using the powerful Astromentus Amulet, which provides a huge amount to every attribute. This was buffed recently with the inclusion of Catalysts from Metamorph, which will make their return into the core game. Furthermore, a popular way to scale with bows is with the very strong dex stacking cold damage mod that can be rolled from either Shaper or Hunter influenced bows. Even if you have, say, 300 strength and intelligence and 1000 dexterity, you're still getting 64% damage from a single node. This is quite strong and of course can be scaled much further and even combined with something like Cyclopean Coil. Next, I want to talk about the notable that's going to be generally good in just about any build. Most of these have been build defining, but this one is so good you can pop it into just about everything. Master of Fear simply makes enemies you curse intimidated and unnerved. Intimidate makes enemies take 10% increased attack damage, and Unnerve does the same for spell damage. These are more multipliers. While this is great on any build, as you will generally be either running a curse or doing some blasphemy or curse on hit setup, it's particularly interesting with a skill like Bane. This is just an absolutely free 10% more damage from Bane, which is extremely strong. Not too much to say about this one, it's just good. This next one, however, is very build enabling. Self-Fulfilling Prophecy is a dream for anyone looking to play an Autobomber build. Usually, getting crit on your Herald skills to enable your Autobomber Herald setup is a pain. This gives you 1% chance to critical strike chance for Herald skills and 25% crit multi if you've crit with a Herald skill recently. Previously, you would use something like a Shimmeron and the Assassin Ascendancy to gain this crit strike chance, but this opens up new possibilities. Granted, you may still use these methods, but this will make your crits more consistent and powerful even if you decide to do that. And most importantly, this gives you more options. Lastly, we have a jewel that was released very early and will be coming as a unique. Hollow Palm Technique is one that I'm very excited to play personally. It introduced the unencumbered mechanic, which activates if you have no gloves, main hand, or offhand items. But it counts you as dual wielding while unencumbered, which gives you, of course, the 10% more attack speed, 15% block chance, and 20% more attack physical damage. It also gives you 60% more attack speed while unencumbered and 14 to 20 physical damage. And that's flat physical damage per 10 dexterity while unencumbered. This means you're getting 2 separate more multipliers to your attack speed, which is pretty crazy, and can stack with other more multipliers to attack speed such as Arena Challenger from the Gladiator Ascendancy. This combined with, say, Cyclone, which has a crazy attack speed multiplier, will allow you to attack insanely fast even with the very slow base unarmed attack speed. 14 to 20 flat physical is crazy amount, and running the numbers you can end up with a bonkers DPS even with a fairly modest amount of dexterity. 700 to 1000 flat damage with only 500 dexterity is absolutely crazy and very easy to hit. Granted, you'll have to be a little bit more creative with your skill tree as many of the damage modifiers specify weapons, but there are plenty that don't that you can pick up. I feel like the upper end potential of this build is going to be unreal in terms of damage, and I'm calling it right now. Some min-maxer with mirror tier gear is going to push this build, and it's going to be well over 100 million DPS. Let me know which cluster jewel notables you're most interested in the comment section below, and if you've come up with any cool combos with the new cluster jewels. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and check out my other videos. This has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming, and I will see you next time. Bye!